That aside, concerning the 80-20 rule, it goes this way that you, as much as you read it, as much as you know it, you really cannot know the 80 that is just part of what you do regularly, and the 20 that is responsible for the 80% of the result. If you're not actually doing what you're supposed to do, if you're doing a business, or let's even say in your career, you're a developer, you're into blockchain, you're into whatever it is, you are working on building something important to have some level of progress and achievement. Of everything you're going to do, that 80-20 principle says 20% of your activity will actually lead to 20% of your activity will actually lead to 80% of your results. And the question goes to what happens to the remaining 80%? And you can look at the other 80% as something unnecessary, as it's only responsible for 20% of your results. And if you read the Brian Tracy book, he talked about it, that it's not just about what you do alone. He talks about people. Just 20% of the people in this world owns the 80% of wealth available in this world. So 20% of the time you are going to put into the work you are doing, into trading, into waterworks, into web development, into learning, into everything. We give out the 80% of the result you're going to get. So 20% of the lines you drop for that girl will yield the 80% of the result you get from the girl. Those 20% at any point in time will be the determining factor in your career as to if you are going to make it big or make it small. That is that. If you now read further, I'm not so sure if Brian Tracy did it further, but yes, I think he did. But if you read the book Sell Like Crazy, that guy, I'm very sure he actually took it further to talking about the 4% and the 64%. That is, of those 20% activity that will give you the 80% of results, just 4% of those 20% will give you 64% of those 80% that you get. You might be wondering, what am I trying to do with this? I'm saying it to let you know that either the 80 or the 20, you really cannot find out what works for you except you start working. And by that I mean, if you're working and you're tracking your progress, that's how you know. So if you're looking for the 20%, there must be something you're doing already that you are keeping track of for you to know which part of your activity that is giving you most of the results you are getting. When you track it, you can know if, okay, let's say for somebody who reads 24/7, if there's ever anybody doing that. Let's say you're in school and you read every time of the day, every time of the week. If you are keeping track, you begin to notice that there are certain times of the day when you read and you understand better. And you are writing an exam, you also discover that there are certain courses that when you write the exam, the result you get from there make up for some where you are not getting the exact result you're looking for. Like those ones that you can easily get A's, and then you know those ones that you manage to cross C. My emphasis this morning on that is this, that as you work, there is now need for you to keep track. Why? Because when you keep track, you begin to know what works and what does not work. And by the time you know what works and what does not work, you then know where to focus your attention. And the reason I'm saying that is to also let you know that of those 20% that you think make up for everything you are doing, it's even more important to pay more attention to the 4% that gives the 64% result. Because that way you reduce stress. That way you know what you need to delegate. That way you know what you can give to others to do. That way you know what you can allow to rest. And Vusi put it this way, that there are activities that need to be done, at least for your business to remain afloat, for your business to keep going on, for your work to remain relevant. Right? Just like you need to have internet to get certain things done. But sincerely speaking, that internet you have is not the one making up for the 80% of the result you get. But it's a necessity. So you can't, because trading is what is giving you most of your results, and then you refuse to have internet. What am I saying in essence is the 80% of those activities that only give you 20% of the result, they are also very needed, very essential part of your daily work for you to actually be able to work. They are the one that actually create room for the 20% work that will give you the 80% profit or result or expectation that you're looking for. So, I don't want us to just read and do those activities we do every day and just do them for the sake of doing them. I need us to keep track. Let's start tracking them. So if I put $5 in BTC, how much am I making? If I put $5 in dog, how much am I making? If I put $5 in Trump, how much am I making? So when you consider that percentage over a period, you know which one is giving you the most reward that you're looking for. But here's the interesting part, and I like this story this scenario I just painted. You see that if you want stability and don't want to lose money anyhow, and you want to keep going for the long term, for the long run, it will make sense to stay with BTC. Right? And BTC will just be like those 80% activity you do that gives you 20% of the result. But within the 20% of the result it gives you is also the stability, your ability to remain relevant for long. But then you come to the likes of Dog, Tron, Melina, and what that one called. All of those ones, you come to them and you put a little and you get big reward, big results. You do those ones on the foundation that the 80% of the activities are built. Wait, am I making any sense?
Yes.
Alright. So if those activities are there and they help you stay focused, stay relevant, stay stable, to keep getting what you're getting, it's like you having a skill, something you're known for, that is keeping you going. Though you may not be generating as much money as you want, you may not be coming in as steady as you want, but you know that anytime, any day, people are hungry when they need it, they call you and you get it done. That gets you, that's like doing the 80% of the, that's like the 80% of the activities that give 20% of the results. But when updates come, like, you just put the token and then you're getting something which, update comes, something you couldn't do within 1 or 2 weeks and it's gone. Those ones give you 80% of the results. For your own sake, your relevance, your continuous availability in the market and relevance in the field, you have to build those that are giving you 80% of the results on the foundation that is built by those 80% activities that are just giving you 20% of the results. Take it a little further, you can look at it if you're building business. Many times, writing proposal is not what gives you the work you're doing. Carrying out the analysis is not what gives you the 80% of the result. In fact, sometimes making your advert is not what gives you the 80% of the result you're looking for. It might just be something like you meeting with somebody who recommends you. And many times that doesn't come every day. So if people's recommendation give you 80% of the connection you need over your advert on your website, it will then make sense that you invest more into having more connections like that, getting more recommendation from people that know you and big other names. But it will be useless to now focus on that alone and let go of your website, let go of your advert, let go of your dexterity in the skills that you have to handle certain problems. So I'm saying that to just let us know one thing, that what works that 80% of result for you most likely may not be the same thing that will work out the 80% of my own results. That is, as you have read it in that book, as you have read it from different people, there is now need for you to track your own activities and track those things that are just 20% work and gives you 80% result. When you do that, you are able to know what to place your focus on. And when you know what to place your focus on to get the best of result you can get, waste is reduced and effort is maximized. I'm saying that to say, if you don't get involved, if you're not doing something, if you're not applying some of those things, you really won't know where it works for you. Then, working smarter may elude you. But what you want to do from time to time is to make sure that as you work out, you also want to work smart. Really, it becomes difficult to work smart if you cannot track what you're doing. And it is by tracking that you're able to mark your progress and then know what is contributing the best for you. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, sir. My own question is, what you are trying to say, is it that we should capitalize more on that 20% effort that is giving us 80% return value? Or try to strike a balance between the 80% effort and the 20% effort? Or what exactly is the point you are hammering on?
Yes, the point is that most of those 80% of the activity that only give you 20% of the results, if you look at it critically, there are things that you can always delegate. There are things certain things can do for you. There are things AI can do for you, and most of the time, it's like you wanting to make a post and then you are thinking in your head for generations to come because you say you want to give original content. AI could have done that. You could have just give the guy prompts and would have written something interesting for you. So why you waste time thinking about how to write original content? Why don't you allow something to do it for you, and then you focus on what makes the post go viral, right? So that what time should I post? Because most of the time, what I've also discovered that those 20% of the activity that gives you 80% of the result, most of the time they are not as difficult or time wasting as those 80% of the activity. So my point is, those 80% of the activity, where possible, delegate all of them, and you focus your most precious time and attention on the 20%. Is that clear enough?
Yes. Well understood.
Alright. Just go and start tracking your activity. And that means almost everything about you, including your investment, including every other thing. And then you need to know where to pay more attention. And lastly, let me just chip in this. Most of the time, if there's anything I've discovered also is that those 20% many times they require intensity. Like once you see it, you strike it as a result. And you do it and wait for the results. That makes sense.